Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Going into this episode, it was good. It was funny, it had some suspense, had some hiccups, but it was good. Let's start with Brady and Sarah. Let's just sit there and say that Brady has some some technical difficulties in the bedroom. So they're like lying down half naked or whatever, and Brady is just swearing up and down. This is the first time this happened to me. It's never happened to me before. You can ask anyone. Blah 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 blah. And Sarah's like, well, I'm glad that it didn't happen because I would have made a mistake. And I'm just glad that, you couldn't. And Brady's just like, no, just stop. Just stop. And, I was sitting there having a good laugh about that. Brady was like, listen, I think it was because, I'm still in love with Kristen. And I'm just sitting there thinking, well, if you're still in love with Kristen, then what are you doing in bed with her? Like, what is this? I understand that you want to get back at Xander, but like, I mean, really? So that was. And Sarah was like, well, I couldn't stop thinking about Xander. And I'm just like, really? I mean, you couldn't stop thinking. I mean, this guy was going to steal your embryo and give it to someone else. And that's who you couldn't stop thinking about. Now, the reason why she said that was because she didn't want Xander to actually have power over her. Even making a choice like that, just to get back at Xander. So while that's going on, Xander beelines to Sarah's place after coming from, I guess, Victor's place. It's crazy scene where Jake is writing in the book, thinking that he's gonna actually, try to fool these kidnappers, and gives it to Sierra. Xander walks in. Xander just snatches it from Sierra's hands, and is, listening to talking about the book or whatever, and how, I don't know, he was inspired, he liked the book because, the character reminded him a lot of himself. Anyway, it's this scuffle, between Jake, Ben, and Xander for the book. They get back the book. Xander's like, you know what? I'm tired of people stealing stuff that belongs to me. I'm tired of people stealing stuff that belongs to me. Wow. Just a stand-up guy. Anyway, he goes to Sarah's place and he's like, listen, I want to show you something. I have something I want to show you. And after Sarah's like, all right, I gotta get changed, and just close the door in his face, which again, I can't blame her. She meets Xander in the cemetery. Apparently, Xander had some sort of plot or whatever, some sort of something for Sarah's daughter. So I stepped in. I was like, wow. I can't even say anything about that. That was actually nice. And then it made me start thinking, does that good gesture, outweigh the fact that he was going to take her embryo out of her body and give it to another woman? Now, for me, I feel like it doesn't, because it's more than just the act of what he did. It's more of it's the mindset that he had, because this guy, he said he did it because he was blackmailed. That actually makes it worse. And the fact that his answer was, well, you were gonna abort it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That mindset is why I was just like, scumbag. But the question is, I mean, that was That was good. That was nice. That was heartfelt. That was sincere. That was touching. And so it made Sarah think. Xander leaves, gives Sarah some time to be with her daughter, and then Xander goes to Brady and he's like, "Listen, I'm sorry for what I did. I know I was thinking myself, but that doesn't excuse what I did, and I just want you to know I'm sorry." He leaves, and Brady's just like, wow, I don't even know what to say to that. So I don't know. I guess this is Xander's redemption tour. So after, here's a funny scene, and I know this is a soap opera, but when Jake and Ben are getting ready to go to rescue Gabby, Sierra's like, I want to go with you, and Ben's like, no, you can't, stuff like that. And, they start talking or whatever for a little bit. And, then they hold each other, and then they start kissing, and I'm like, you do realize that, the clock is ticking, and she's tied up with this guy that can kill her, and you find time to just, make out and kiss. Really? Okay. I get it, it's a soap opera thing, but I just kind of looked at that her life is... Okay, whatever. Anyway, so while they're heading over to save Gabby, and you got Eli and Lonnie telling them, Gabby, I need another sip. Fuck. Gabby's a moron. Let me explain why Gabby is a moron. If you've been watching the show longer than me, then you already know why. But there's a part in there where Gabby is like, oh, well, he could be Stephen DeMero. He might be him. And if he is, he's going to sit there. He's going to get you guys. He's going to kill each and every single one of you. And the kidnapper's like, oh. So what you're saying is that we should kill him first. And I'm like, wow, Gabby. Just, wow. You're a moron. But to be fair, the guy who got kicked in the nuts isn't really so smart either. So, yeah. So, Ben and Jake get over there. And this is another part that did actually make me good. I was laughing for a good minute. Let's just put it this way. So, they get over there. They do their little one-liners back and forth. And then they give the other guy the book. Now, they give him the book, and you got Ben sitting there telling Jake, do you think he's really going to fall for it? And Jake is like, well, it's kind of too late at this point. And I'm sitting there thinking, they can still see you guys. You know that, right? You're not in an invisible, they can... Okay. So anyway, the guy's sitting there looking at the book or whatever, and just the way his facial expression just changes when he knows that there's something wrong with the book, I was laughing so hard. So he's finished looking at the book, and he's just like, this isn't the book. So you're trying to play games with me, right? So they do back their one-liners or whatever, and Jacob's like, oh, well, I know this isn't the book, but if you give me more time, to be fair, the kidnappers did give him 24 hours, and then 3 hours, and then another hour. So, yeah. Anyway, the other guy, the guy who didn't get kicked in the nuts, is like, you know what, listen, why don't you sit there and tie these guys up, and I'll just take them out back and just end this whole thing. Eli and Lonnie come in like badasses. Give them credit for that. And I think Lonnie was the one that shot one of the guys. Or Eli shot one of the guys. And then the other guy grabs Gabby. And at this point, they're both holding a gun at this guy. Lonnie is about to just throw up. And I give her credit, okay? because she had morning sickness. Like, this whole thing was going on from the time they started. Last episode, I don't know how time works in Salem, but for a long time she had to go, and I give her credit for that. Because, after she said what she said to Gabby to, get a clear shot, she takes the guy out, and then she goes in the next room and she handles business. And I'm like, you know what? Even though this is gross and disgusting, you're a badass. So I give you props. There were some scenes, and granted this is connected, there were some scenes where you had Gwen, Claire Bear. I know her name is Claire, but every time I think of Claire, I always sit there and think Claire Bear. So you had Claire, you had John, you had Marlene. Marlena is sitting there giving Claire the business, talking about you lied, you did this, that, and the third, and giving her the whole lecture thing. And Gwen is like, listen, I would have left. And I was only thinking to myself, and it was your granddaughter that, I guess helped me find a soul or something. Pretty much that's literally what it was, because she was like, I was going to just give this book off and try to sell it. But, she kind of made me see the errors my way. So, again, made her have a soul. So, Ciara comes in there, and Ciara's like, oh, you have the book. They just went, and they gave him a fake book, and Gwen is like, well, that's not going to work. So, John is like, you know what, listen, I'll run over there, and I'll give him the real book. And Marlene's pretty much like, no. Because Marlene's like, Marlena's just like, we just got you back. And that last guy who tried to kill you, I'm good. You can stay right here. So before he heads out, he gets a call from Ben. Smith is saying that everything is A-okay. So, let's see. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, towards the end, you got Ben and Jake and Gabby sitting there talking about the book or whatever. And this is my whole thing. Why are you guys still talking about the book? Like, you don't have two cops that are right there? Anyway, just not there talking back and forth or whatever. And Gabby's like, oh, what about this book or whatever? And it's like, oh, the book. Everyone's talking about the book. So then Eli comes in there like, yeah. So I want to know about this book too. And now Jake is just like, oh, shit. And I'm sitting there thinking, why did no one just like shut the hell up about the damn book? And by the way, if it wasn't for you being kidnapped, you would look like you jumped bail. So, yeah. So yeah, that was pretty much about it. Yeah, so Gabby's a moron. I want to just re-emphasize that. And Xander actually did something nice by, doing a whole memorial thing for Sarah's daughter. Yeah. So yeah, all in all, an actual good episode. And yeah, that's actually gonna do it for this episode, or for this recap. So thank you everyone who's been watching. Thank you for people who has been writing comments on my page. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for the thumbs up. Like I said, these things are fun. And yeah, actually, tell you the truth, I had to redo this again. This is another reason why this came out so late. I did my video before, but then I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got a little negative. And that's not really, I didn't really like it. I mean, the rest of the video was fun, but I don't want to kind of like do the best video that I can, since people are actually watching it. People are commenting, people are liking it. So I'm gonna give you my all. And yeah, just an actual good episode. Again, I still think that Brady's malfunction was funny as hell. And I know I shouldn't be saying that because I'm a male. But yeah, it was funny, and I enjoyed that. I know his excuse was, again, Kristen. And I guess that kind of flies, but let's be honest, Sarah's kind of hot. So I don't know exactly how much that excuse is going to fly, but whatever. So that's going to actually do it for this recap. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And yeah. I look for it. Well, ugh. Anyway, I will see you in the next recap. Bye.